Ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest. If your brain had a voice, you'd fire it. Seriously, you'd never let another person talk to you the way your own thoughts do. You'd cut them out, block them, delete their number. But for some reason, we let that voice run on autopilot all day long, tearing us down, spinning fear, feeding doubt, and we call it thinking. And here's the hard truth: your brain is not designed to make you happy. It's designed to protect you. That means it is constantly scanning for what could go wrong. And if you're not careful, it will trap you in a loop of negative thinking that will steal your energy, your confidence, your joy, and your future. But the amazing thing, you can stop it, you can interrupt it, and you can retrain it. The first thing you need to understand is this: your thoughts are not facts, they're patterns. Most of the negative thoughts you have are recycled. You didn't think something negative today because it was true. You thought it because your brain has been trained to go there, and what fires together, wires together. You think I'm not good enough once, twice, 10 times, and suddenly it becomes a belief. But beliefs can be broken, beliefs can be changed. You have to start by becoming aware. You cannot change what you do not notice. That's why the very first thing you need to do is catch that thought. Catch it and name it. When you hear yourself thinking, I'm not smart enough, say it out loud. That's a lie. That's a negative loop. That's my old programming. The minute you name it, you separate from it. You shine a light on it, and when you bring darkness into the light, it loses power over you. Now once you catch the thought, here's what you do next. You interrupt it. I use the 5-second rule. Count down 5-4-3-2-1, and then move. Change your body, change your energy, change your environment. You've got to snap your mind out of the loop. And yes, it sounds simple, but that's why it works. Simple interrupts like this bring you back to the present. And here's the big secret. Positive thinking is a skill. It's not some woo-woo magic. It's mental discipline. Just like going to the gym, you don't get strong thinking about lifting weights. You get strong by lifting. Consistently, daily, especially when you don't feel like it. So, what do you do instead of the negative loop? You redirect it. You ask better questions, not why is everything going wrong, but what's one thing going right today, and not why am I always anxious, but what's one small action I can take to feel better right now? You train your brain to look for solutions. You train it to focus forward and know. This isn't about pretending bad things don't happen. This isn't toxic positivity. This is about taking your power back. Because every time you choose to redirect your thoughts instead of let them run wild, you are proving to yourself that you're in charge. Here's something else I want you to remember. Your mind believes what you repeat. Not what's real, not what's logical, what you repeat. So repeat this: I'm not my thoughts, I'm the thinker. I can choose a better thought. I have everything I need to reset. Say it over and over, even when it doesn't feel true, especially when it doesn't feel true, because that's how you build the new wiring. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to never have a negative thought again. You just need to catch it faster, interrupt it sooner, and redirect it more often, one day at a time, one thought at a time. That's how you reset your mind. That's how you build the kind of life where your thoughts lift you instead of limit you. So the next time that voice in your head starts whispering, you can't do it, you'll know what to say back. Watch me, because you can and you will. Now go reset that mind. Your future is waiting. Your brain isn't designed to make you feel good, it's designed to protect you. That's the part most people don't understand. So when you're struggling with negative thoughts, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken, you're not weak, you're human, and your brain is just doing what it's wired to do. Scan for threats, look for problems, anticipate worst-case scenarios. It's like a mental bodyguard that never sleeps, but it doesn't realize the alarm it's sounding is for a threat that no longer exists or that was never real in the first place. Imagine you're walking through your day and a random thought pops in: I'm not good enough. You didn't ask for it. You didn't plan it. It's just asterisk there asterisk. And if you don't catch it, if you don't recognize that it's just your brain running an old program, you start to believe it. And then you start to feel it. That one thought can set off a chain reaction. Self-doubt, hesitation, anxiety, procrastination. All because your brain defaulted to fear. Why does it do that? Because fear feels safer than risk. Doubt feels safer than trying. Criticizing yourself feels safer than getting criticized by someone else. It's protection, plain and simple, but here's the catch: it's protection that keeps you stuck. The negative thoughts you think are not truths. They're not instructions, they're habits. Think about that. A thought like, "I'm a failure," isn't a prophecy, it's a pattern. And patterns can be broken. You've probably heard the term neuroplasticity. It's the brain's ability to change and form new pathways. That means the same way your brain got wired to think negatively through repetition, it can get rewired for something better. But you can't do that if you keep believing that your thoughts are facts. You've got to separate yourself from them. You are not your thoughts, you're the thinker. When you start to view negative thoughts like background noise, they lose their grip. You don't take them personally. You don't accept them as truth. You observe them like clouds in the sky. They come, they go. You decide which ones you give attention to, and it starts with awareness. Most people are on autopilot. They think something negative and immediately react. They spiral, they stress, they freeze, but awareness puts you back in control. It's the mental pause that says, "Whoa, where did that come from? Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it even mine?" Because here's the thing, a lot of the negative thoughts you carry aren't even yours. They came from a teacher who said something offhand, a parent who was too hard on you, a friend who made a comment when they were insecure, society, culture, social media. You internalize someone else's doubt, and now your brain thinks it's a fact. But it's not, it never was, and once you become aware of the source, you can take your power back. You can say, "I don't need that thought anymore, that doesn't serve me." But awareness alone isn't enough, you have to act. You have to interrupt the pattern. I use the 5-second rule because it works. When I catch myself slipping into negativity, I count 5-4-3-2-1, and then I move I shake up the energy. I go for a walk. I journal. I speak a better thought out loud. I change my environment. Anything to disrupt the loop, because that loop, left unchecked, will repeat itself all day long. That's what negative thinking does. It creates a tunnel. You stop seeing options. You stop seeing possibilities. All you see is what could go wrong, what isn't working, what you don't have. But the moment you interrupt that loop, you expand your view. You let light in, you create space for something new to grow. Here's the truth that changed my life. You don't have to believe everything you think. You get to choose every moment, every day, and yes, it takes work. Mental fitness is real. You can't just think positively once and expect results. This isn't a one and done. This is a asterisk practice. Asterisk, just like you wouldn't go to the gym once and expect to be fit. You don't think one good thought and expect your whole mindset to shift. You show up, you catch the thought, you challenge it, you interrupt it, you redirect it, again and again and again, and slowly you build a new pattern, a stronger one, a healthier one, and then one day, without even realizing it, your default starts to change. You wake up and instead of thinking, "What's going to go wrong today?" your mind whispers, "Let's see what goes right." That's the shift. That's the power of retraining your brain. Negative thoughts are normal. They're human, but they don't have to own you. And once you understand how your brain works, once you realize it's not designed to keep you happy, but to keep you safe, you stop fighting it. You work with it. You build the mental muscles you need to take back control and live the life you actually want. That's how it starts. That's how you stop negative thoughts and reset your mind for positive thinking. One thought at a time, one interruption at a time, one empowered choice at a time. When a negative thought shows up, and it will, the most powerful thing you can do is name it. That's right, you don't argue with it, you don't push it down, and you certainly don't let it run wild. You name it, because when you name a thought, you create space between you asterisk, and the story your brain is telling. That space is power, that space is awareness, and awareness is what breaks the cycle. Most people go through life on mental autopilot. A negative thought pops in. I'm not doing enough. Everyone's judging me. I'm going to mess this up. And they accept it as fact. They become the thought. And that's where everything starts to spiral. Because the minute you believe the thought, you feel the emotion it creates. Then you act based on that emotion. Then you gather evidence to reinforce it. It becomes a loop, a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you can stop for just a moment and say, oh, there's that old thought again, or that's fear talking, or even this is not my voice, it's a story, you break the spell. You remind yourself that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. You are the thinker. You get to decide which ones get a seat at the table. Think of your brain like a radio station. It plays all kinds of things, old recordings from childhood, criticism from teachers, fears you picked up from your parents, things you saw on social media, and those recordings get stuck on repeat. Some of them have been playing for so long, you don't even question them. But the second you name them, it's like you're tuning the dial. You're saying, nope, not this station today. There's neuroscience behind this too. When you label a thought or emotion, you activate the prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain. That means you shift control away from the amygdala, the emotional alarm system. This is why naming your thoughts isn't just a fluffy mindfulness exercise. It's a biological intervention . It calms your system down. It puts you back in charge. Let's say your brain throws a thought at you, I'm going to fail. Instead of buying into it, you pause and say, that's anxiety, that's not truth, that's just my fear trying to keep me safe. Boom, now you've got distance. Now you're no longer inside the tornado of that thought. You're standing outside it, watching it go by. That's power. You don't have to judge the thought. You don't have to fix it right away. Just name it. This is fear. This is judgment. This is old conditioning. That's enough to start shifting your relationship with your mind, because once you name it, you no longer let it define you. And here's the real kicker. The more often you practice this, the faster you catch the thoughts. At first, you might only notice after you've spiraled, but over time, you'll start catching them earlier, mid-thought, even before the emotion hits. You'll see them coming like a wave, and instead of getting pulled under, you'll learn how to surf it. That's the difference between being reactive and being resilient. Reactive people get swept away by their thoughts. Resilient people see the thought, name it, and choose how to respond. That's a skill. And like any skill, it gets stronger with reps. This practice also helps you separate from shame, because when you don't name your thoughts, they start to define you. You start thinking, I'm a failure, instead of, I had a thought that I might fail. A huge difference. One is identity, the other is observation, and observation is the first step to transformation. It's also an incredible tool for self-compassion. When you name your thoughts without judgment, you start to treat yourself like someone you actually care about. Instead of beating yourself up, you get curious. You say, interesting. I notice I'm telling myself I'm behind again. Where did that come from? That kind of awareness is healing. It softens the inner critic. It gives you room to breathe, and this doesn't take hours of meditation or some complex process. You can do this anytime, anywhere. You're walking into a meeting and your brain says, you're not qualified, name it. That's imposter syndrome. You're scrolling social media and thinking, everyone's doing better than me, name it. That's comparison. You're lying in bed thinking, I'll never get it together, name it. That's self-doubt. It sounds simple, and it is, but don't mistake simple for weak. This is the groundwork of mental freedom. This is how you start pulling the weeds out of your mind instead of letting them take root and grow. And what happens over time? Those thoughts start to lose their edge. They show up less often. They don't stick the way they used to. Why? Because you stopped feeding them. You stopped believing them. You stopped identifying with them. You starved them of your attention, and attention is what fuels a thought. So the next time your mind starts spinning stories, don't panic, don't run, don't react, just pause. Breathe, name what's happening. That moment of awareness could be the thing that changes everything. You want to stop negative thinking. You have to stop giving your attention to what you don't want. Sounds simple, right? But let's be honest. Most people spend 90% of their mental energy obsessing over what's asterisk, not asterisk working, what could go wrong, who didn't text back, what might fail. They're focused on problems, not possibilities. And here's the truth. Whatever you consistently focus on, you fuel. Whatever you give energy to grows. So if you're constantly replaying doubts, fears, worst case scenarios, that's what your mind will serve you more of. Not because you're cursed, because you're training it to. The brain has this incredible feature called the reticular activating system, or RAS. It's like a filter. Its job is to show you more of what you tell it is important. You ever buy a red car and suddenly you see red cars everywhere? That's your RAS at work. You told your brain red cars matter, and it started filtering the world accordingly. Well, guess what? If every day you're focusing on how overwhelmed you are or how far behind you feel, your RAS starts filtering the world through that lens. You see more stress. You feel more pressure. You notice more evidence that you're not enough. Not because it's true, but because that's what you've told your brain to find. And this isn't about toxic positivity. This isn't about ignoring real problems. It's about choosing intentionally what to give your mental spotlight to. Because your thoughts are like seeds, you plant fear, you grow anxiety. You plant resentment, you grow bitterness. You plant hope, you grow possibility. So ask yourself, what kind of mental garden are you cultivating? The most successful, grounded, and resilient people I know all have one thing in common: they're intentional with their attention. They don't ignore reality, but they refuse to give power to thoughts that pull them down. They redirect, they refocus. When their brain says, you can't do this, they answer with, what's one small step I can take? They interrupt the negative spiral before it takes over. It's a discipline. And like any discipline, it's built through repetition. You catch the thought. You pause, you ask, is this what I want to feed? If the answer is no, redirect, not with judgment, not with shame, but with clarity. Okay, brain, I see you, but we're going to focus on something helpful instead. You can even practice this with a simple exercise I love. Catch yourself 3 times a day when your thoughts go negative and consciously reframe. If you think, this day is a disaster, switch it, this is a rough patch, but I've handled worse. If you think, I never get it right, flip it, I'm still learning and that's okay. These tiny shifts matter. Not because they erase the problem, but because they stop your brain from snowballing it into something bigger. Another powerful move: start your day by setting your mental GPS. Before your feet hit the floor, ask, what's one thing I want to focus on today that actually supports me? Maybe it's calm, maybe it's confidence, maybe it's curiosity, and then every time your mind starts to drift toward panic or self-judgment, gently bring it back to that anchor. That's not woo, that's mental leadership. That's taking control of your focus, and don't underestimate the power of your physical environment either. The more cluttered your space, the more likely your brain will feel chaotic. Clean your room. Close the 38 tabs, put your phone face down. Every distraction is a magnet for misplaced attention. When you clear your space, you make it easier to direct your thoughts. You want to know something wild? Studies show we have upwards of 6,000 thoughts a day. Most of them are repetitive, many of them are negative, so if you don't take control, your mind will run on loops that don't serve you, but you are not powerless here. You can train your brain to focus differently. You can literally rewire it. That's the core of this whole practice. You are the programmer of your mental software. And if the code is full of bugs, full of fear, full of scarcity, you have the ability to rewrite it. Thought by thought, focus by focus, choice by choice. You don't need to eliminate every negative thought to live a positive life. You just need to stop letting them run the show. You need to stop handing over your attention to things that drain your energy, lower your mood, and convince you that you're not capable. Start noticing where your mental energy goes. Who are you thinking about? What stories are you replaying? What assumptions are you making? And most importantly, is any of it actually helping you? If not, you know what to do. Pause, pivot, and refocus. The more you do this, the stronger your mental muscles get. The stronger they get, the easier it becomes to lead yourself out of a negative spiral. And that, my friend, is the beginning of lasting mindset change. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's focus, and you're in charge of where it goes. You've probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But let me tell you something even more real. You are the product of the energy you allow into your space every single day. If you're serious about rewiring your mind for positivity, you've got to take a hard look at your environment. Not just your physical environment, but your digital one, your emotional one, your social one. Because all of that, every podcast you listen to, every TikTok you scroll, every complaint you nod along to, it's all shaping your mindset more than you realize. And here's the truth. You can't change your life if you're surrounded by people and content that are reinforcing the old one. Let's break it down. Let's start with the people you engage with. We're not talking about whether they're bad people. We're talking about whether they support the direction you're trying to go in. Are the people around you lifting you up or keeping you small? Are they dreamers and doers or critics and complainers because you're absorbing their patterns, their language, their beliefs? If you're trying to reprogram your brain for confidence, clarity, and courage, but you're constantly hanging around people who gossip, whine, and stay stuck in victim mode, you're going to feel like you're running uphill in wet concrete. You need to get intentional about who gets access to you. You don't owe everyone your time or your energy. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. They protect what matters, and right now, your mindset matters. Your energy matters. You're in the process of becoming the version of you that doesn't live on autopilot. That means you need support, not sabotage, and don't even get me started on your digital environment. If the first thing you do in the morning is scroll through perfectly curated highlight reels, you're already feeding your mind comparison before you've even brushed your teeth. You're telling your brain, this is the standard, this is success. And suddenly your nervous system is in flight by 7:15 a.m. No wonder you feel behind. No wonder it's hard to stay positive. Clean up your feed. Seriously. Unfollow or mute anything that triggers you, drains you, or distracts you. Follow people who inspire action, who share value, who speak truth, not fear. Curate your content the same way you would your diet. If you fed your body junk all day, you'd feel sick. Your mind's no different. Next, look at what you consume mentally throughout your day. Are you reading books that challenge your thinking, listening to podcasts that stretch you, watching things that make you better, or just things that make you numb? Because every piece of content is either sharpening you or dulling you, there's no neutral. You get to decide what plays on the mental screen of your life. Choose wisely. Your physical environment plays a role, too. You don't need a mansion or a minimalist white space, but you need a space that reflects clarity, not chaos. When your surroundings are cluttered, it affects your ability to think clearly. Even a few small changes, clearing off a desk, lighting a candle, putting your phone in another room, can signal to your brain, we're doing things differently now. And your brain listens, then there's language. What's the tone of your environment? Are people using empowering words or defeatist ones? Do your conversations lean toward growth or gossip? Your subconscious is listening asterisk all the time asterisk, and every word spoken around you reinforces a belief. This isn't about being fake or positive 24/7. It's about creating a tone that matches the life you're building. If you want to rewire your brain for positive thinking, the environment has to support the programming. It's like trying to write a new script while the old one is still blaring in the background. Turn down the noise so you can actually hear your own voice. It's not about cutting people off or pretending bad vibes don't exist. It's about becoming the gatekeeper of your life. Who gets in? What gets your attention? What energy do you let linger in your space? Make a list right now. What are the top 5 things in your environment? People, apps, habits, spaces that are feeding your old mindset? What are 5 things that could support your new one? And then act. One by one, shift your inputs, because small changes in input create massive changes in output. This isn't a one-time purge, it's a lifestyle. It's a commitment to protecting your mind like it's your most valuable asset, because it asterisk is asterisk. You can't think clearly in a cluttered space. You can't dream big in a room full of doubt. You can't stay motivated if every conversation is an energy drain. So build your environment like it's your secret weapon, because it is. Get around people who speak life into you. Listen to voices that challenge you to rise. Clear space for clarity. Be intentional about every asterisk piece of energy that gets to be part of your day. This is how you create a mindset that's not only positive, but powerful asterisk. This is how you make your growth non-negotiable, and when you do, everything in your life starts to reflect the upgrade. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build and the raw material is action, not thinking, not wishing, not waiting doing The problem is, most people wait until they feel confident before they act, but that's not how it works. Confidence comes after action, not before. You don't wait until you feel ready to speak up, to start the business, to change your life. You speak up, start the thing, and that's what builds the confidence. It's like going to the gym. You don't walk in strong. You get strong because you show up and do the reps, and it's the same with self-belief. Every time you take action, even when you're scared, you cast a vote for the kind of person you want to become. When you keep promises to yourself, you start to trust yourself, and that's where real confidence is born. But here's where it gets tricky. Your brain is wired to protect you. It wants to keep you safe, and safe means familiar. So every time you try to do something new, your brain sounds the alarm. What if you fail? What will people think? You're not good enough. That's not a sign to stop. That's a sign you're about to grow. The mistake is thinking that confidence means the fear goes away. It doesn't. Confidence means you act anyway. You have to stop negotiating with fear. Stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect version of yourself. That moment doesn't exist. What does exist is right now and what you do with it. Mel Robbins talks about this all the time, the 5-second rule. You feel the instinct to act. Count backward 5-4-3-2-1 and move. Don't wait, don't think, don't let your brain talk you out of it. Action kills fear. Momentum builds belief. Every time you hesitate, you're sending your brain the message that the fear is more important than your goals. But every time you push through, even just a little, you're training yourself to see discomfort not as danger, but as a doorway. And let's talk about failure, because that's where most people lose their fire. They try once, it doesn't go as planned, and boom, they label themselves, I'm not cut out for this. But failure isn't a reflection of your worth, it's feedback, it's data, it's the tuition you pay to become the version of you that actually can do the thing. The most confident people you admire They've failed more than you've even asterisk tried asterisk. They just didn't let the failure define them. They used it to refine them. You have to start building evidence. What does that mean? It means taking small, repeatable actions that prove to your brain. Asterisk, I do hard things. I follow through. I don't back down. Asterisk, you build confidence like a brick wall. One small action at a time. You don't need to leap. You just need to move. Start by doing the things you avoid. Send the email, ask the question, say the truth. Get uncomfortable asterisk on purpose asterisk. That's the real flex. And when you do, track it. Seriously. Keep a confidence file. Write down every time you acted when it would have been easier to hide. Review it often because your brain needs asterisk, proof asterisk, not just pep talks. Also, cut the comparison. Nothing drains confidence faster than measuring your behind. The scenes against someone else's highlight reel. Stay in your lane. Celebrate your small wins and stop expecting to master something you've barely practiced. Confidence is cumulative. It builds, it stacks, it snowballs, but only if you keep showing up. And don't underestimate the power of language. What you say to yourself matters. Are you your own hype squad or your own worst heckler? Because every time you say asterisk, I'm not good at this, asterisk, your brain goes asterisk, okay, noted, asterisk, and then it starts finding evidence to back that up. But when you say asterisk, I'm learning, I'm growing, I've got this, asterisk, your brain listens asterisk just as hard asterisk. Train your inner voice to speak to you like someone who believes in your future, not someone stuck in your past. Confidence doesn't come from the outside, not from praise, not from approval. It comes from knowing deep down that you have your own back, that you'll show up, that you'll keep going, that you'll figure it out, even if you fail, even if you stumble, especially then. Look, your life will not magically change just because you want it to. It will change because you asterisk decide asterisk to act differently, think differently, asterisk become asterisk different. And that journey, it starts the moment you stop waiting and start doing. So don't let fear of imperfection keep you stuck. Take the messy step. Say the awkward thing. Try the thing that might not work. Every time you do, you strengthen your confidence muscle. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll look up and see that you're walking differently, speaking differently, carrying yourself with a quiet power that only comes from asterisk earned asterisk belief. That's what this is about. Not ego, not arrogance, but asterisk earned asterisk confidence, built brick by brick in private, until the day it speaks for itself in public.